My name's Ted Garcia, and I'm an elder on the board of the Fernandeño Tataviam Band of Mission Indians in San Fernando here.
Hamanat Netawan, Alan Salazar. Hello, I'm Alan Salazar. I'm a tribal member of the Fernandeño Tataviam Band of Mission Indians.
I really can't tell you much about the basket other than the curator here mentioned it was Yurok, and it's a very beautiful basket, but it's also very, very old. You can tell because some of the design is faded on the side of it, and there's a little damage to it where it's maybe coming a little bit unsewed. It's got to be over 100 years old, so that's why, you know, I can't really identify, you know, what it is, but it is a beautiful basket nonetheless. Oh, they probably made wee wish in it. That's an acorn kind of mush. They may have, you know, you can only imagine what they put in here. A basket was used to gather. Not only that, it was used for to eat out of. I'm sure that they had many different things that they prepared. I would see mostly vegetables probably in this basket. I'm just amazed at the energy I feel from this basket. It's just that's what makes me excited about it. The person that made this was very, very talented, did a very, very good job putting this together. And I could feel the energy that was put into it. Feel little shocks going through my hands. So, like I say, it's probably vegetables. If it was my basket, I probably wouldn't want anybody to be cooking in it. It's very beautiful.
When I go to schools, besides trying to repeat over and over and over that most California tribes were hunters, gatherers, and business people, one thing I talk about, many of the California tribes, my Chumash ancestors were great basket weavers, but most California tribes, we didn't make pottery. This is our pottery. These baskets. This is Kurok from more north. The Pomo north of San Francisco were great basket weavers. Museums all around the world have Chumash baskets. And what's fascinating to me about it is the weavers would weave the baskets so tight that it's just weaved so tight that sometimes they would seal them up with pine pitch, even the tar and asphaltum, but they would cook in the baskets. So this basket was a cooking basket. And if you get the fresh green shoots of willow, the fresh green branches in the springtime after a rainy year, you can shape them into a U, tie them, and then the kids would stir the water as the adults dropped hot rocks in there. And the reason the kids would stir the water so the hot rock wouldn't settle on the bottom and burn a hole in it. And then that heat from that hot rock would dissipate and get the water hotter and hotter and hotter. Eventually, the water would be so hot that it was almost boiling. And then they could put in acorn meal, maybe some meat, maybe berries if they wanted something sweet. And the advantage of being the kid that got to stir the rock so it wouldn't burn the basket is you got to lick the stirring stick that had the really good acorn meal left on it, the real good juice. And I think aju is a Tataviam word. I'm not sure, but that gravy, that sauce, that was the advantage of being the child that got to help. It wasn't punishment. It was to the kids' advantage to help stir as the moms and dads. Many tribes in California, the men did the majority of the cooking. It was truly a team effort When Hillary said it takes a village, yeah, she got that from us. So our baskets and our basket weavers are some of the best and greatest basket weavers you can find anywhere in the world. Um, uh, it's kind of faded. You can see the designs, um, but to have this line in the lighter color triangles, that's very difficult. That's where you would use that bone awl, because here you're just changing the whatever material, the juncus or the sumac, um, that you're weaving just for a short distance. When you get up to the peak of this triangle, you're making one weave, and then you're switching back to the darker material. To do design work like this, you had to be a really good basket weaver. There's a famous basket at the Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History. It's a large tray, about 18 inches in diameter, maybe almost 2 feet in diameter, and a famous Shumash basket weaver weaved it, and she was commissioned to make it for the governor of California when California was under the rule of either Spain or Mexico. I forget the exact year. And she weaved a Spanish coin, and the design that was on the Spanish coin, into her basket, which means she weaved the lions standing on their hind legs with their claws up, a soldier with his helmet and a spear. She weaved that all in there. The design work was incredible, and they had, I think, the audacity that after she made this beautiful basket, they go, "Oh, but you didn't sign it." So you can see where an extra about almost an inch was added to this big flat round tray with all these intricate designs on it. And she weaved in the name of the governor and the date. And I'm not sure if she weaved in her name, but it's just one of the many examples of how uh, skilled that a basket is so functional, but the artistic value is just incredible. Um, and I'll finish with this. I tried this style of weaving. So you start here in the center, and then you weave bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you start weaving up. A basket like this would take a long time to weave. And I went to a weaving class one time, and after working a better part of 4 or 5 hours, I had a coil about that big. And I looked around at all my other fellow beginning weavers, and all of them had baskets about that big. One had a basket that big going up about that high. And after working all day, and I didn't mess around, I was trying my hardest, I had a coil not even as big as a silver dollar. And you have to be my age to know what the hell a silver dollar is. Basket weaving is extremely difficult. You have to be highly skilled to make something like this. This is just an incredible piece. If you guys can distract the curator for a few minutes, I can get it into my bag. No. But thank you for letting me talk about this. This is beautiful.
And put infants in this. This once again. This here they carried babies in. It was something that they could handle the baby, hold it properly, and it's made from some kind of reed or grass. It's very beautiful, but this wasn't the only component of this. This was covered in probably rabbit fur or something like that, where the baby would be very comfortable in it, be kept very warm with blankets made from animals, mostly rabbit. Rabbit was pretty much the softest animal that they would use for this. I just can't imagine anymore with my children having one this small to put in this little carrier. It's amazing. You just forget about, the size of your children, how they once were. I think my oldest daughter, she probably would never fit in this. But I feel the energy in everything. There's just this is just something of patience that I feel, that when they were putting this together, it was done with love. You can feel that in it, you know. So, but I don't know how old it is, and I don't know if it was ever used for a baby. It could be more contemporary for all I know, because it doesn't appear to have much wear to it. You know what I mean? But whoever made it, it was made, with love, and maybe as a gift, or maybe just to make it to show their ability to make things. So maybe a young person. I'm thinking maybe a young person made it too. Maybe for $1 or something. Yeah. But like I say, I just see the beginning of someone who has talent that will be able to make these later on, as they get older, and as they work with stuff like this, that they will be very good at what they do. So it's just like everything has a beginning. When you begin to do things and you look at what you made and you're not really satisfied, because I'm a stone carver. I started carving stone over 25 years ago. And there was times when I didn't like what I made. I just looked at it and threw it on the table. I don't want to look at it anymore. But I'm sure that whoever made this was very proud of themselves that they got it made. There's not much to it, but it's very nice. It's decorated. I was thinking at first, I thought it was me. It was enclosed. It was a little bowl, but I don't know, because they made these like a digging tool. They used this to dig, and they would put it on a long stick, and when they dig, it'd be like a weight. At first, I was thinking, just being an old man, I'm first thinking that it's maybe funerary, because it has a hole in the bottom, and a lot of things that were completed, that people were buried with, they put holes in the bottom of it. There's a lot of baskets and bowls with holes in it. But now I'm thinking this is like a hammerstone for when they're digging. They have a sharp stick. They're pushing that through to get the stick to cut through the dirt that they be plowing up. And that's why a lot of times the different tribes of Indians that did cultivated the land and stuff were called diggers, because of the stone. They may have used this to make a pendant, but it's kind of heavy to carry around your neck, So this side, I really haven't seen this, but I'm not really sure. I really couldn't tell you. It's just that that there's an energy about it. Somebody was very intent on what they were doing. They wanted this to be something special. Everything. When you're making stuff with stone, and you have a feel for it, you have an affinity for what you did too. You're a feeling of accomplishment. So that's all I can tell you about this. It comes from within the stone. You can feel that. It's just I got old hands. They're beat up, but I can still feel. It just still amazes me how I can feel the energy of these things. Mostly the stone, more the stone, but the baskets too. They give me, like the Yurok basket. I got little shocks in my hands from that. So steatite rock is solid. There's no moisture inside the rock. It will glow red You leave it in a fire long enough, it will glow red. You gather stones from the beach or from a river, there's water in those rocks, and they put them in the fire and they explode. Boom! That's why they don't really use them for sweat or to cook with. So I know I found that I gathered a lot of stone that people wanted because they were going to cook with it.
I was looking at this bowl before I came on. It's a beautiful bowl. As you can see, it has some burn. Um, uh, uh, so it was used to cook. I was told that it's soapstone from Catalina Island, and I've been there where they um, uh, would collect the soapstone. And for me, one of the most important things about this bowl is something that most people in California and America don't know about California tribes. We are hunters, gatherers, and business people, and we traded extensively. And this is just one of many examples that this stone came from Catalina Island, and then it was traded probably to somewhere in the Los Angeles basin area with the Tongva, and then traded farther north to the Tataviam, and wound up out here in the desert. Um, and we traded extensively with all of our neighboring tribes, and I think Southern California was probably one of the most popular places where the tribes would travel hundreds and hundreds of miles to trade bowls like this. The advantage of this stone bowl is you can heat it and cook anything, meat, soup, stews, acorn mush. But the stone bowl steatite is just a valuable resource that was used throughout all of California and traded for effigies and carvings and things like that, and stone bowls. Beautiful piece.
This bowl I noticed earlier, and information from Peggy, the curator here, that this was from Catalina. Then I looked at the bowl and I noticed that the stone was brown. And I looked at the stone and I felt the stone. It's very dense, it's very strong, so you can tell that it's old. And to me, well, I've gotten stone from Catalina and it's very brittle. It's not, I've always said, I've always been against carving Catalina stone because it's brittle, has a lot of inclusions, and I think that the stone, most of the stone from Catalina has been depleted. There's probably still some stone there, but it hasn't been found yet. But I was really disappointed when they talked, all they talked about was Catalina soapstone. And now I understand why they felt that way about the stone, because this is a beautiful piece. So this must be very, very, very old, because there's nothing wrong. At the time, I guess there was nothing wrong with the Catalina stone. It was strong, and it wasn't easy to carve either. But the stone that I gathered from Bouquet Canyon off of Fire Road, I think is more beautiful than our Catalina stone. You get a beautiful black stone, and it depends on from what level you gather it. If you gather it, it's up on a hill. The stuff on the top that you find is black or brown. There was pieces up there that were this high and this wide. They weighed a lot, probably 400, 500, 600 pounds. And people had gone up there with chainsaws and they were trying to remove. You could see the chain marks on the stone. Well, they probably dulled the chain or whatever, and that's as far as they got with it. But anyway, this is the stone that I have, and it's still a great stone. Is just like this, solid. It still has inclusions in it, because all stone has, especially this kind of stone. because it was, you know, it was all pressed together. It's shisk. So, but like I said, it's this is a very amazing bowl. It's beautiful, and like you know, I feel the age in